Hi everyone, it's John Benko, the Director of Nursing here on Belfair's campus with a COVID-19 update for the 16th of April. My temperature, 97.8, reminding you all to make sure you screen yourself. Take your temperature. If you've got a temperature above 100 degrees or any symptoms of any illness, do not report for work. We do look at all of our residents every day, taking their temperature at least twice, monitoring for any illness. And at this point, we have no one with any signs or symptoms of COVID-19. We are trying to get a few more enhanced measures out here. We'll probably start doing some more screening, but in the meantime, we want to keep our eye on that physical distancing. Use 6 feet distance whenever possible. Stay in your work areas. Stay out of those kitchens, offices, other work areas whenever you don't need to be there. Limit contact. Use technology, right? Radios, phones, Zoom, whatever you can. We want to avoid infecting each other just in case one of us should happen to have some asymptomatic case of COVID-19. We've had some questions about PPE, personal protective equipment. Those will continue. I know we're trying to address all of them. We are getting more cloth masks. Look to your manager or unit director. We will get cloth masks out to whomever needs them or whoever wants them. We're also going to make sure that we'll have all of the PPE we need should we have anyone with any symptoms or COVID-19 diagnosis, so we can safely take care of them as well. Speaking of PPE, we know that we have a couple of questions on how to safely put masks on and off. So we've got a brief video for you, and I'm going to let you watch that now on how to properly take off or doff your mask.
Sam knows her front of her mask is contaminated. Sam performs hand hygiene. Instead of touching the mask, she grasps the ties or elastics of the mask, carefully removing the mask without touching the front. Sam discards the mask in the waste container. Sam performs hand hygiene. Great job, Sam.
All right, so now we know how to take off our personal protective equipment, at least our mask. The one thing we won't do if we're wearing a cloth mask, of course, we're not going to throw it out. You want to put that in some sort of a bag or a basket, and you're going to wash it, right? You want to make sure those masks are clean every day and then let them be dry. You don't want to be using a damp or a wet mask. Of course, if you're using a surgical or isolation mask, follow the instructions of that video and properly dispose of them. Reminding everyone that some masks have ties in them. If you're using a surgical or an isolation mask that you brought from home, it may have a piece of metal in it. We need to be safe, so keep an eye on any of that metal. Make sure that those knots don't get around your neck. There's a ligature risk if you're working with at-risk youths or maybe someone on the ASD spectrum. So one thing we haven't talked a little bit about in a while, and that is what should we be doing? How should we be behaving? We talked about our 2KS equation, right? We want to take 2 seconds. Remember, everyone that we're coming in contact with or interfacing with is in the midst of a global pandemic themselves, and they're under stress. So treat them and yourself with kindness, right? It goes a long way. It's very contagious. I encourage you to spread kindness. Kindness makes you happy. If you're happy, you're going to have a strong immune system, and that's good. And then S is for science, and we're going to look to science to give us the answers that we need. We have to prevent misinformation and make sure that we get the appropriate facts so that we can act responsibly throughout this crisis and help each other get through it with as little bit of stress as possible and make sure we all stay healthy throughout. We will be having some updates, I'm sure, on how we're going to be screening everyone coming onto campus to make sure that all of our coworkers and visitors and contractors are healthy, anyone returning to the campus, and then give us a little bit more of a way to manage this. We've been doing a great job here on campus. The hand hygiene is looking good. I've been walking around. Folks who are using PPE are using it correctly, so thank you for that. We are also making good use of distancing. We're using technology. We're not seeing folks together. If you can stagger anything, any groups, any meals, any snacks, we want to stagger it so you have room to spread folks out, both clients and employees, right? We just want to get that physical distancing whenever we can. So look for some more updates. In the meantime, if you have questions or if you're having some problem with stress and you need the Employee Assistance Program, reach out to your supervisor or HR or email me at benkoj@wingspancg.org. So that's it for today. Look after each other, be kind, and wash your hands and stop touching each other. We'll talk soon.